Sanya's the wrong side. He knows he dare not touch him. Just gone for the near post, and the goalkeeper does well in the end.
It's clever from Rosicky. Gnabry bursting onto the wall, trying to feed Walcott instantly. His control is instant, and his shot is instant, and it needed a reaction from Hugo Lloris, who was going the wrong way there momentarily.
Gives himself an awful lot to do, I've got to say, Walcott there, but he hits the target, and Lloris has to make sure he gets a good hand on it.
Corner towards Vermaelen, won by Dawson. Rosicky. This is Gnabry. Oh, it's no spot. Just over Hugo Lloris's crossbar, but hit with venom and swerve by Serge Gnabry. This is Sanya. Gnabry. It's opened up a little bit for Serge Gnabry, and he's played in Santi Cazorla. Thunderous finish by Santi Cazorla.
The two centre-halves dropping away, but once that ball goes into Gnabry, Kirikesh and Dawson have just dropped off, and that allowed Gnabry to find Santi Cazorla on the far side. Left foot, right foot, you can trust either one with this guy. He's prepared to hit him first time. That is hit so beautifully, so accurately. Great goal.
Into Eriksson, now Lennon. Crossed into Adebayor. And there was a chance.
There's a chance.
Lost his footing.
Yeah.
They're baying at him now, but there'll be some sighs of relief in the Arsenal contingent too. He's onside here. Emmanuel Adebayor. Trying to roll it into Eriksson, top the corner.
Arsenal are far more accomplished with their football. They need to get a bit more daylight than this.
Eriksson's corner. All the way by Mertesacker. Soldado. Rose has taken a chance, and Rosicky has dispossessed it. Thomas Rosicky for Arsenal. 2-0. One end of the other, in the blink of an eye. A problem of Tottenham Hotspur's own making. Danny Rose caught in possession, and Thomas Rosicky doubles Arsenal's lead.
He fancied that Danny Rose just might take that liberty, might take that chance in possession of the ball. That's why he went after him, Clive. He just thought, yeah, he might just try and wriggle out of this and I can pinch it. And once he does, he's quick enough to keep good distance between himself and everybody else. And even under pressure from Walker and from an advancing Lloris, he's got the coolness, he's got the confidence, the ability to scoop it over the goalie and put his team 2 in front.
Good control from Rose. On the Spurs corner. Another moment for Walcott to go down. Right in front of the Spurs fans. I don't think he'll have gone down there by choice.
Let's hope that's more precautionary, Clive. I really do, because he's enjoyed himself today, Theo Walcott.
That's right in front of the Tottenham fans, actually. I mean, smile on his face, but I'm not sure that is actually the brightest thing to be doing.
Now, what's happened to Theo Walcott? Is he okay?
The first signs are not too bad for Theo. He got kicked on his knee. Is it stretched ligament or not? We have to check that in 1 or 2 days.
What do you make of that gesture?
I don't think that's offending. You know, the doctor told me they got a lot of coins over there.
He was reacting to that, was he?
He was responding to that. You know, they said they needed to protect him from the number of coins he got.
Isn't that gesture the sort of thing that could provoke more trouble?
Yes, of course, but let's not go overboard as well.
Well, let's sort that one out first. It's a slight chicken and egg situation, that, I suppose, isn't it? We don't know exactly who incited who first. What do you make of it?
Well, I wondered who's injured the most, the stretcher bearers or Theo.
He's been
carried off on a stretcher and he's making gestures to the supporters. I don't think that's a really good idea, and I'm sure looking at it now he'll be regretting that. And the stretcher bearers...
I mean, there's no excuse for chucking missiles, let's be clear. There's no excuse for that.
That's wrong. But as I say, the front 2 guys in the stretcher bearers, I wonder why they're throwing things at us.
Yeah,
we're quite nice lads, but somehow we're getting pelted here.
Yeah.
But it's not... No, in the corner, you know, and I'd expect a wee bit better. Because we are sensitive these days, you know, fans and players and things like that. I think if Theo thought about it again, it's not a good idea. He's 2-0 up anyway. We know the score. You know, the fans, they're not very clever, but they're clever enough to understand it's 2-0.
We're losing. So have a bit of that. As far as the match went, tactically, player for player, Arsenal just better?
Better side today. Spurs started each half quite well because they played two up front, and the two up front, one of them would drop back and get a wee bit of help in the middle of the park. But the longer the game on, the two strikers reverted to what they were and stayed up the park and left some more room in the middle of the park. Because early in the game, one would drop back, they'd narrow the midfield and kind of match them up in the middle of the park. The longer the game went on, the two strikers stayed full up the park, which allowed Arsenal to go and pass the ball a bit. But they were hungry, Arsenal. You know, people have always said that they're a wee bit lightweight. I didn't think so. You know, today they stood up against them and put some tackles in. But this is surprising, that first goal. When Gnabry turns around, he must be thinking, I'm going to get tackled here. But Kirikesh actually went way back about 10 yards, and that's a terrific finish from the wee fella. You know, he's just decided, I'm just going to hit this straight down the line.
Poor old Danny Rose-Martin have nightmares about that.
Yeah, Rosicky, you've got to say he has done well, but Danny will be disappointed with his decision to try and Cruyff him on the halfway line.
Yeah.
Tim's spoken about playing an open, free style of football. I don't really even think Tim would be too happy with that either. But you've got to say it's a fantastic finish after a 40-yard run. And Tottenham did have two good chances. Once when it was 0-0, Ericsson was through with just the goalkeeper to beat. And then at 1-0, Adebayor from 8 yards. And he's had a John Terry-type slip, which would have been 1-1. So two good chances at key moments in the game.
Yeah, and it naturally is a learning curve. For all that he's been at the club a long time, he's new to being in charge of a team on a big day. He's just won at Old Trafford, so you can't win them all, as you two well know.
Yeah. It's been in management 3 weeks, and one's at Old Trafford. Many of us have went there many a time. Whole career, no one there. So it's not as easy as that every week, that's for sure. And you have to sometimes think who you're playing against. And but it's a learning curve for Tim. And he'll go and look at it and say, where could we have done better today? You know, and that'll be good for him. So sometimes you can learn more in defeat than you can in victory.